Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. While the European Union, or Europe in general, is dragging its feet through a recession, or at least some countries, important countries, after imposing sanctions on Russia, Russia became the number one economy in Europe and the fifth worldwide. How is that worldwide? How is that possible? I mean, you impose sanctions on these guys and they are succeeding. So you impose sanctions on these guys and you are losing. How is that possible? It doesn't affect them, it affects you. So what should you do? Stop. So I have here an article from Sputnik where the Russians give us details, or at least they brag about, look at these losers. They impose sanctions on us and they are just warming themselves economically. Have you seen what happens in, or what's going on right now in Germany with the farmers and with the train conductors? And they're going to paralyze that country. I wonder why. Oh, Putin again? Why? You should be okay. You screwed yourself with energy, you screwed yourself with money sending to Ukraine, and you keep doing the same garbage. All right? And you think that those guys, elected or unelected officials like Baerbock and Pistorius, they work for you, the German people. Yeah, go and vote again. All right? So here is the article. Sputnik. This is from 8 hours ago today on the 11th of January 2024. Russia now is Europe's number one economy, fifth worldwide, Putin reveals. Now, you can choose to say, hey, no, that's not true, the guy is lying, but numbers are numbers. You can say, well, you fudged the numbers. Possibly, I don't hear anybody on the other side of the fence saying, oh, these guys are lying. And I still remember when these guys were laughing about Russia, saying, Russia has an economy of the size of Italy. Okay, well, now it has bigger than Germany. You can say, well, Germany is about what, 82, 83 million people. Russia is 145, 46 million people. So obviously the Germans are almost double as efficient as the Russians. But hey, wait, patience. Why? These guys have resources. The Germans have squat. So without resources, what are they going to do? Provide services to one another? Seems like. All right, let's go back to the article. Vladimir Putin met with businessmen from Khabarovsk in the Far East and shared his views on the nation's economic prospects, praising Russia's performance despite pressure from the West's sanctions, while stressing that there is work to be done. Russia's economy has turned out to be number one in Europe based on purchasing power, parity, and fifth in the entire world. Russian President Vladimir Putin said when meeting with businessmen from the Far East. This almost looks like it was planned. Not planned for Russia to succeed, but planned for these guys to sacrifice certain kind of economies to take over with their interests. I can tell you some industries that are booming in the West, despite the fact that big countries are dying, which is Germany, for instance. You can have the military industry, oh my God, the arms industry. You got the banks shooting through the roof, and also you got the energy companies. All these things were affected positively for them during these sanctions and war in Ukraine because they stuck their nose, but the countries were down, were losing. So these private institutions, companies, were booming while the countries were getting weaker and I would say poorer. How is that possible? And all these three things that do not control Russia, they have their own banks and their whole military industrial complex and the energy sector, obviously. They're not destroying their country. So isn't it strange? It seems like the big interests get their money. They don't care about the countries and they get their monies. They shackle country after country. Now it's Germany's turn, and the European Union not only occupied militarily by US troops, which they're all over the place, but not vice versa, but also politicians and economic conquering, which people say, well, it's fine, we conquer then, it's fine. Yeah, but our time comes next. Don't fool yourselves. And I'm quoting, "It seems that we are being strangled and crushed from all sides, but we have become the largest economy in Europe. We have overtaken Germany and rank 5th in the world," Putin revealed. Now, is this because Germany is going down and you stay in the same spot? And then obviously you bypass it or surpasses, or you go up and the other one goes down. Which one is it? Could be both. Remember, when these guys, what I said about the big interests are booming and the countries are getting sicker and poorer, remember when these fantastic analysts and experts and professionals telling us, the accountants telling us, "Oh, you know what? We're going to impose sanctions on Russia. We're going to kick them out of SWIFT, yeah, and the ruble is going to collapse. They will get out with the pitchforks and with their torches, and they're going to hang Putin." That was the plan. Did it happen in the past 2 years? Not at all. He still has more, how should I put it, approval rating than any other Western blah 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 leader of any. Maybe Orban has something close to Putin. Well, I know they fudge those numbers as well. What can you do, right? But we don't. No, because we're good and they're evil. Again, same garbage. President Putin specified that Russia has outperformed Europe in purchasing power parity. But in the context of per capita GDP, there is work to be done. That's exactly what I said. The total of production and services divided by the population, you don't have as much. That's why the Germans are more effective, because that's so, as 82 or 83 million people, GDP is, let's say, a little bit lower than Russia. Russia has a little bit higher, but double the population. So that means still work to be done. But if you look, I made a video, Jesus Christ, maybe 1 year and a half, more than 1 year and a half, where I showed with graphs from the West, I think I used Statista and others, to show where Russia was in 1999 or 2000 when Putin took over. So those 9 years from 1991 till, let's say, 2000, I took those economically, how bad Russia was going when we liked Russia a lot and we liked Yeltsin a lot. These guys keep making the mistake of lumping us together with them, but it's not like that. That's their team. We are in our garbage team, and these guys keep making us jump at each other's throats. That's what they do. And they over there, they get run with the big money, and we fight like weasels. Well, what can you do, man? We need this and we need information, which we're trying to do here. So I did that in 1999, let's say 2000, when Putin took over, how the economy increased. How many? I think it was 3 or 4-fold, because they were about almost $2,000 per capita, and they got to 15,000. So that's what, seven times. And not only, it's with the graphs. Look at that one. So obviously these guys were doing something right under this tyrant Putin. And the other ones obviously stayed, because that's what you do when you are, and that's what happens. When you are advanced, let's say you reach like a ceiling, you advance with what, 3% per year, 2% per year, 4% per year if you have a boom. And the other guys were going 12%, 13, 15 until they caught up approximately. They didn't, but that's why this guy got some success, because older people remember how it was in the 90s compared with how it is and how it was in the 2000s and so on. So the head of state added that Russia's economic growth may be higher than the anticipated 3.5% at the end of 2023, after Moscow has launched its special military operation to defend the population of Donbass from Ukrainian aggression, unprovoked, remember. US-led Western countries imposed countless sanctions against the Russian economy. Russia is the most sanctioned country in the world. It bypassed Cuba and Iran. US-led Western a long time ago, and North Korea. Western countries imposed countless sanctions against the Russian economy, despite the intention of the collapse of the collective West. These restrictive measures have failed to attain any of the declared goals, with Russia dramatically broadening its trade and diplomatic ties with nations of the global south. Maybe that was not their goal. That was the goal they gave us. And they say, hey, this is the goal. Their goal was something else, enrich their guys, because they're in control. So they said, how can we enrich ourselves? At the expense of others, we don't care, let's do it. They're doing just fine. Remember, che bono, who benefits? Follow the money. Exactly. Follow who got fat just by chance. It was just a coincidence, man. This war just fell on these guys' fat cats' lap, and they make, how do you call it, a record billions in profits. Just like it happens to you all the time. You are always lucky and you make billions just because something happened somewhere and you did not know anything about it, my friends. All right, if you don't think that was a little bit, let's put it this way, channeled, then I don't know, I suggest go outside and deal with people, and you're gonna understand how people work, not only movies, Hollywood movies and Weinsteins. Putin has repeatedly pointed out that despite the West's sanctions, Russia has strengthened and expanded its economic sovereignty. Well, I'm afraid that Russia has, or that's a fact, bases a lot of its success on its resources. So they sell resources, get the money or the products, and they do like the Americans with the dollars. We print the dollar, we use it, and we give stuff built by someone else. So the Russians sell oil, gas, natural gas and all that, coal, whatever else they got, timber, and they get back products. But these guys are giving something, the other guys are just printing money, and how many billions we're going to give these idiots? Oh, this, okay. What are they going to give us? Oh, that thing, that built thing, that manufactured thing, and we just give it. Friends, this is a racket. That's how we would call it. But hey, it's voluntary, you think? I don't think it's voluntary whatsoever, because these guys are going to push their guys in the office and will promote certain garbage that will do this bidding for. Not for us, for those guys. Yeah, we benefit out of that. We can't deny that. But without consumption, how do you support this capitalist system? But it's going to go away because they got their money and the power. So they don't need us anymore. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.